Stand by for the Brewery Underground podcast.
In Nashville's heart will rise, craft and brews will meet the skies. Stephen Scott, they lead the way, Brewery Underground night and day. Raise your glass, let's ignite, in this city we unite. Raise your glass, let's ignite, in this city we unite.
Well, hello there, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Uncle
La, la, la.
Leo.
Leo. Seinfeld reference for those of
yes.
you that are not familiar with Seinfeld.
Seinfeld.
Hey, this isn't a Seinfeld episode. though.
It's not.
We wish it was.
Although it's like the second time we've talked about Seinfeld just today since we've been here.
That's all right. It could turn into a Seinfeld episode. You never know.
Yes, every day is a Seinfeld episode. At least there was a moment or two.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Stephen Scott, we are at
Mill Creek Brewing Company.
in Nolensville, Tennessee.
Yes.
Yes.
So glad we did this, or that we're doing this. It's something that's been on our kind of our bucket list for a while
Yeah.
to get down here, and we made it so.
I could state the obvious
What?
and say we're the Brewery Underground podcast. I mean, if you're tuning into us, you probably know that already.
I mean, you know,
But if you're a new listener,
you might be a
maybe you
newbie.
don't,
Yeah.
or a new viewer, say hi to the camera. Hey,
Well, we're not by ourselves.
very happy to have the very lovely, very talented Ashley Gibson. She is the regional sales manager for Mill Creek Brewing here in Nolensville. Hello, Ashley.
Hey guys.
Hello. Thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me. This is fantastic.
This is a pleasant surprise. We kind of were planning this, and then we reach out to you, and you're like, "Yeah, I'd love to do it." And we're like, "Yes, bonus content."
It is a
Yes.
bonus, yeah.
Yes.
It's perfect.
Totally.
It's my first ever podcast. so,
You're gonna be
I'm-
famous.
I'm a wealth of beer knowledge, and I can't believe nobody's asked before.
Well, we are going to scrape all that knowledge from your brain today. We're going to get it all out of you.
One of the most fantastic things is a lot of times when Scott and I are doing Brewery Underground podcast episodes, we are across the computer screen. You know, from my house, he's at his house, so we
Yep.
don't always do this on location. Sometimes we do. And we talked about this particular one. Let's go to Mill Creek Brewing
Yes,
and find out all about them
Right.
because we've been here many times.
we have.
And we're gonna hit the 411 today.
We knew it would be big enough.
Yes.
We
Definitely a large space.
we didn't. You think they could fit us in here? I think there's
True.
plenty of room. They could have put us anywhere in this building. There's so much room.
So for people that are out of town and they're listening to us and they're saying, where the heck is Mill Creek? It's in Nolensville, Tennessee, which is south of Nashville and in Williamson County. And the other thing is, ding, 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 Nolensville only has one brewery, and that is here at Mill Creek.
Yes.
Yes, it's great to be in this town. I feel like the community has really embraced the brewery. We do a lot to give back to the community here. So, it's a great family-friendly tap room, great food. I tell people that all the time when I'm out doing tastings with people. So, love being here in Nolensville. And again, as you mentioned, the space is huge.
It is.
With private events, whatever the people need, we can accommodate.
Yeah, I
Golf
think
simulator.
I think a baseball game is about to break out over on that side. I saw the teams getting in line, so maybe no.
Yeah, and we'll talk so much about this place and the history and everything. I wanted to begin with something because I think it's really relevant to the growth of this area and why Mill Creek has become such an entrenched part of the community. Now, we were talking before we hit the cameras here today, started a record button. I've been here many times. I've been in Nolensville for a while, as far as like I don't live here, but coming here, and I was pulling up some information from the U.S. Census Bureau recently. Little geekish, right?
All right.
But in 2010, the population here was more than 5,000 residents. Any idea now in 2026 what it is? Can you guess?
Based on traffic getting here, I'm going to say it's a lot more.
Yeah, the traffic indicates that it's maybe hundreds of thousands.
16,000 people
Oh,
It's triple.
oh.
now
yeah.
live in Nolensville, Tennessee. This place has grown so much. Hey, Scott and I were talking about this the other day. Like, I remember years ago, I would come through Nolensville, meet some friends, and there were a couple things you could do here. Martin's Barbecue,
Mhm.
still here down the street, great place, great food. And basically, what else? They got the Amish store.
The Amish store.
Yeah, but can you even talk about that from your perspective? Like, talk about the growth that's really helped this place.
Yeah, I mean, the growth has been huge. I mean, lots of even bars and restaurants coming to this area who are even willing to feature our beer too, instead of saying, hey, they can go right over there and grab it. So why would we do that? But yeah, I mean, the foot traffic and really speaking to the family friendly aspect of it as well, it's just something that this community needs. I mean, the baseball fields and the park are right behind us here. So that helps. We do pizza nights, taco nights, stuff like that. Yeah, the growth and getting people in here has just been amazing.
Yeah, if you look around right now, there literally are families surrounding us.
Yes.
I mean, and from the minute we got here today, and it's always been this way every time we've ever come here. It's very family
Yes.
friendly. I mean, parties of people are here.
Whole parties. They do live music, some of the greatest music as well. There's a band called Beacon that plays here. I have not personally been out to see them, but I have been told if you ever catch Beacon at Mill Creek, you should show up. And I'm like, okay, I'm putting it on my list to get back out here for
Good
that.
to know. Good to know.
Yeah. So for perspective, as Scott just said, so it is about, we're recording this on a Sunday and it's a little after 1:30. You open at noon. This place is already getting pretty crowded here.
Oh, yeah.
I've been here before on a weekend or even on a weekday where there's always a lot of crowds. And we talked about the family aspect. This is such a great brewery where it's encouraged. Bring the family. There's a lot of things for the kids to do, a lot of things for the families to do. Can you talk a little bit more about that? Yeah.
Yeah, we have a golf simulator in the back that you can book.
Yeah.
There's a whole area in the back for the children to kind of run around. We have a patio out front here. And it's just a great spot. I feel like, especially in suburban communities of Nashville, it's something that you have to bring to the table. And there's, a lot of talk amongst breweries of, are we family friendly? Are we not? And we in this community are definitely embracing that aspect of it. Even with the food, people are like, you have a food truck in your brewery?
Yes,
We're like,
you do.
yes, we do.
Yep.
And the food is fantastic. Families can come and hang out, meet up with their friends, let the kids run around. And that's just great for everything that we're doing here.
Yeah, we just killed a couple of smash burgers a little while ago before we got on here, and I can attest it is awesome food.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, what's your favorite on the food truck there?
The smash burger or the wings.
The wings? Yeah.
The wings are fantastic. They even have some cauliflower wings. And when I first was introduced to these, I was like, we're just going to eat cauliflower? Like, what's happening? But the cauliflower wings are fantastic. The smash burger has, I think, is award winning. I believe somebody told me that.
It should be. I'll give them an award if they don't have one already. We'll give them one.
Yes.
A Brewery Underground Podcast Award for.
Yeah, it was
Best
funny.
smash
I had it. I had it about a half hour ago before we started doing this podcast. I'm going, well, good for me. I'm glad I had it. Hopefully, I'm not going to have to take a nap.
Yeah.
In a few minutes or anything.
I'll
like
kick
that.
you under the table.
No.
We've
We've got our fun guest here, and she's going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
We're also drinking beer.
We are drinking beer.
Scott and I already had the Dunkel, and so we're already drinking some beer. This Dunkel is new, right?
The Dunkel is brand new. I actually just had it today for the first time.
All right.
So just came out of the tanks last week, I believe. And hey, when Aaron is our brewer, once he told me he was making a Dunkel, I was like, I am here for that. It's one of my favorite styles of beer.
Yep.
And so, yeah, I just had it today for the first time and I love it. It's chocolate. It's malty. And it is a Dunkel lager. So it's definitely hitting all of those tasting notes.
Yep. When you said the other day that we were talking about before we came on here, you coming on here, that they had the Dunkel, and I was excited. I was like, all right, I'm starting with the Dunkel, and I did.
I have a good Dunkel.
And our buddy Tom is here, sitting right over there, and he first thing he got was the Dunkel. He goes, "This Dunkel slaps. Like it is good."
Yes, and I feel like it's something that a lot of local breweries, once Zahn's closed up, I mean, they had a great Dunkel, in my opinion. We see Yeehaws from time to time, but they pulled back on production a little bit of that. I think it is back, but from a local standpoint, we're not getting a whole lot of Dunkels.
No.
So I don't know if it's gonna go out into the world. You may have to adventure down here to the tap room to get it. I've asked for some, but you never know. I'm all about spreading the love of our beers and getting it out to the community, but it's so good.
I think you just hit the key word there. You're going to have to come here to get it. Bring them in. That's right.
Bring them in.
Let's go.
So if you're living anywhere in the area or you're coming into the area, come to Mill Creek. Get all the beer. Get all the beer. Yeah.
Lots of tap room exclusives.
Yeah, and don't think that Nolensville is too far away. Look, it takes forever to get anywhere in Nashville. So why just put this on your list too? I mean, what's the difference?
I mean, to me, I live in Old Hickory, so it's a 45-minute drive for me. Mileage wise, it's not that far.
Right.
It's the back roads, but I
Yep.
promise you, it will be one of like the most beautiful drives you've ever been on to get out here. It's just peaceful. When I
Yeah.
come out here once a week, and typically on a Tuesday morning, I'm like, it's just a nice way to start my Tuesday.
That's
It's just
good.
peaceful.
Yep.
I had mentioned to Scott when I got here today, I said, it's nice to get on a road where the Waze doesn't take me onto like I-24,
Yeah.
65. I went some back roads. I got here, no problems.
Yep.
And here we are at Mill Creek.
Yep.
And back to what you were saying about the growth, if you take those back roads, you will see the growth. I mean,
Yes.
the amount of housing developments. I mean, I've been with Mill Creek, it'll be 2 years in August, and been making that drive pretty frequently. And there's a whole housing community down the road, guys, that
There is.
was not there when I started 2 years ago. And they're all like drive through it, and everyone is already sold and they're not even built yet.
Yeah, in fact,
Jeez.
right around the corner, I know they've been building it for a while. I don't know how many months it's been open, or maybe for a while, because I hadn't come that way for a while, the other direction. But there's a big Publix grocery store that opened up, and then there's
Yes.
other shops and everything else.
Yep.
This entire area, as we talked about with the number of people, over 16,000 that now live here, and I don't know if Mill Creek can hold 16,000 people. Maybe we don't want to
Probably
encourage
about
that,
half.
I don't know if Nolensville Road can handle it.
That's 100% true. Hey, another little tidbit before we move on from Nolensville itself. If anybody recognizes the name and don't know why they Nolensville, Tennessee sounds familiar, think about the Little League World Series a couple of years ago. They made national news, and I think they went pretty far into the Little League World Series. And I know there's a banner hanging up over here dedicated to them. So I think a couple of years in a row they were kind of nationally
Yeah,
talked about.
it really is. It's a big family-friendly community, Nolensville is.
Yes.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. Again, seeing the families when we come in here for all the events.
Yep.
And just, it's a great place for your kids to hang out, and you can hang out and have great food and adult beverages.
There might be a birthday party going on at some point, or a soccer game may have gotten out at some point. It's great.
Hey, people get married here.
Do they?
People get married here.
It's like, why would you mix the good with the bad? Anyway, that's a whole nother. the beer is the good part.
It's a shame. It's a shame there wasn't a wedding going on today. Maybe
That would be
we could
great.
do some play-by-play.
That would be
Did she
great.
really say I do?
Maybe she not.
Or did she
Yes.
not? That's right.
Now sitting down with us is the new bride and groom. Let's see how things going, guys. I want out.
Well, great for right now because they have great beer.
That's exactly right. They leave here.
Sure, you might see her running down the
That's
road
right.
over here.
Back to reality.
Straight into the ballpark over there.
Hey, can you tell us a little bit about your background, how you got to Mill Creek?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to think about. When I went out into the world after college, I graduated from Tennessee Tech University. I have an accounting degree, technically. I love data, I love numbers, but I did not enjoy, sitting behind a desk. And so from there, I opened my own gym. I've always been into fitness, CrossFit, things like that. And, as many people know, owning your own business, it's tough to get off the ground. So I picked up a job at a local craft beer tap room in the Nashville Farmers Market. A little shout out to the Picnic Tap.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's how I
Um,
got to know you. Actually, I met you for the first time over there.
Yes, I mean it's a great spot. A little bit touristy these days. Parking is a little tough. I went by there yesterday and I was like, I just need to drop something off. There is nowhere to park. But they have 15 taps, and their whole plug is local beer. Obviously, we've as beer has grown and everything, we've expanded into some regional taps over there. But that's where I got most of my knowledge from. I worked there just kind of part-time. I started there one night a month. That's what I did for the longest time. And then in 2021, 2022, somewhere in that ballpark, I took over managing that establishment and getting to know the wonderful people in the beer industry, the supplier reps that are out there. And then again, that's where all of my beer knowledge comes from. From there, I just kind of turned beer into a passion, into a hobby, and my partner hates it, but we only travel for beer. When I plan vacations, it's because we want to go to this brewery. We're going to Fort Walton Beach this weekend. Shout out to Woodfoot. I'm coming for you. I'm super excited. I've never had any of their stuff. I've met the owner, I believe, a couple times at Brewery, but I've never been. So excited to check that out. Yeah, I just love finding new beer, love tasting the beer. Ended up at Mill Creek. That was a long-winded way back to where your original question, but ended up in Mill Creek because of working literally at the tap room. There was another supplier rep who would repeatedly come in and, sell me products like as on the buyer side and she had offered me a job a couple times to come work for a company called Countermeasures. They are local here in Williams County, Franklin, Tennessee. And I turned her down 5 times. I was like, no, I love my craft beer tap room. I'm happy here. And then as I've gotten older, I started kind of looking at my life and I was like, I don't not want to bartend forever.
Yeah.
So what's next? And she came in on a Friday night, and it maybe just happened to be the right Friday night. But she said a couple of words to me in that night that changed my mind about maybe taking the job that she was offering. And those words were, you could represent Mill Creek Brewing Company. And I was like, what? Local beer?
Nice.
Fantastic. So I interviewed the next week. I started 2 weeks later, and here we are. It's been almost 2 years.
That's amazing. That's awesome. Quick story about you at the picnic tap. I walked in one day and you knew my name already. And I go, I was like, how do you know my name? She goes, oh, I follow you guys. And I was like, you're like the first person ever said that, like, followed us or whatever. And I'll always remember that. So,
I mean, you guys are kind of living out a little side piece of my dream here, and I love beer. Again, my partner, we've talked about, beer podcasting and beer influencing, I think they call it these days.
Yeah.
But for me, it's really just, I just love sharing beer with people and, good and all beer. It doesn't matter. Just getting it out there into the world. And when you guys popped up, I was like, yeah, quick follow. And then in addition to that, I was managing a craft beer tap room. Whatever we can do to get people in the door, we got to get people in the door.
And I was like, what is this picnic tap thing? I must go.
We have a lot of fun. And even like Robert Spivey that was just here in the beer community, we see Robert out all the time, and he just came in, he just left. And, Tom Schumacher's here as well, one of our friends. And really, honestly, and
another buddy, Steven's over here.
Yeah, Steven's over here as well. And not just in the Nashville area, but in other areas, Ohio, Kentucky, West Virginia. We've met some fine folks up in Delaware, and we've had friends that we've made through this podcast.
Louisville. Oh, yep.
Yes, that have come into Nashville, and we're like, here's some of our recommendations. Here's where you need to go. Now we got to also get them to Mill Creek.
Give them the Mill Creek.
Get them to Mill Creek. That's all right.
You mentioned Ohio, though. I think that's one of the things that kind of drew me to you guys. I think one of the first posts I may have ever seen was you guys walking around Cincinnati, and my partner is from Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah.
And so I've done a lot, as a patron in the Ohio beer community. And I was like, who are these guys covering Ohio beers?
Yeah.
Well,
they live here.
What's happening? I was like, they're talking about some of my favorite breweries. What's going on?
Well, and I grew up there, so
Okay.
it's actually kind of how we talked about this. It's actually kind of how it started. Scott and I have been friends for years, and we would go up to Cincinnati and go to some Reds games and stuff like that and hang out. And we were I don't know, 5-6 years ago, we were sitting in a Reds game, hitting some breweries and going, maybe we should start a podcast. And so we about once a year or two, we'll go back. I go to Cincinnati a few times a year because my family's up there. And then we make a trip once a year to do like a whole big Cincinnati takeover. We're going there in September, hitting an Oktoberfest event up there.
I've heard that their Oktoberfest is one of the best.
Yeah, yes.
Have you guys been already?
He's been.
I have been.
You've
He's been once.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the second largest in the world.
Yeah, we were up there 2 weeks. We went to Third Eye up there.
Yep.
2 weeks before the Oktoberfest celebration last year, and they were like, "You've got to come back! You've got to come back!" And of course, we couldn't pull that turnaround that quickly. But it's on my list of Oktoberfest to get to this year. We're going to Munich, so it'll unfortunately have to take a back seat.
Yeah, okay.
Wow.
Well, if there's one to take a back seat to, it might be that one. It's a pretty big deal, apparently.
Something.
Yeah. Oh, I'm jealous. I've been to Germany, but we didn't go to. We went to Bavaria, but we weren't there for Oktoberfest. But just being there when it wasn't Oktoberfest was amazing. I mean, the beer
Yeah,
culture, it's nothing but beer culture over there. It's amazing.
I'm really excited about it. There's I don't know if you guys have talked to Doug Page at all. He runs the beer department at Providence Wine and Spirits. He took a trip last year, about the same time that I was taking a trip, and because I was doing like New England. We went up into Burlington, we went to Maine Beer Co., all that stuff. But he went and did a European beer trip. He was jealous, I was jealous, but I'm stealing his beer trip this year, and we're doing, Amsterdam, Prague, Brussels, Munich, Dublin. So incredibly excited.
Beer flows like water over there. It's like
That's
it's
what I'm
literally
told.
yes. I think it's literally cheaper than water.
That's what I'm told.
Oh, staying on the subject of Oktoberfest, it'll be around the corner here soon. We actually just got into one of our first 90-degree days
Oh,
in Nashville. It'll be 90 degrees to 100 now to the end of September in Nashville. But Oktoberfest season is not that far off
No.
either. Any special plans? Anything going to be happening in Mill Creek when Oktoberfest season happens?
Yes. Oh, it's actually funny that you say that, because we run about 2 seasonals a quarter out into the market. Unfortunately, the ones between like the summer seasonals always get cut short because, well, it's August. And so therefore we must be out in the market with
Yes.
pumpkin
Yep.
and Oktoberfest.
Yep.
And so those words are already coming out of my mouth when I'm out in the market talking to people, and they're just staring at me. And then you see the realization where it's like, oh, she's not kidding. Like,
Yeah.
that's going to be here very, very soon.
Yeah.
because it is August. It's literally August.
Last year, so our pumpkin is slightly different than most people. We do a pumpkin cream ale. So it's a little bit sweeter. It's a little bit more vanilla, not just that like punch you in the face kind of spice. And we were sold out of pumpkin by the second week of September last year. Pumpkin season, Oktoberfest season will be here. But here at the brewery, we, again, opening up to all the families and everything, we do a big celebration here. Dressed up. This whole place is packed front to back, if you can believe that, with how much space.
So that's pretty much all of Nolensville.
all 16,000 people are in
They're all
this
going to come here.
and yeah, it's just a really, really great time. I believe our Oktoberfest beer is talk about Dunkel being one of my favorite styles. Oktoberfest is one of my favorite styles as well. And I like ours. It's not overly thick, so I feel like I can have 2 or 3 without feeling like I've eaten a loaf of bread.
Yeah.
And I enjoy being able to have 2 or 3. So, but yeah, watch the social medias. We have a huge Oktoberfest here.
I've got a friend group, and every year they do an Oktoberfest. Call it a bracket. And we all get together, and everybody brings different types of Oktoberfest. Mill Creek won
What?
one year, yes, and I don't know, just 2 or 3 years ago, and it was like, just like we try them blind, right? And they all come out
That's
blind.
amazing.
And somebody's pouring them, and then this one passes, and this one goes to the next round, blah blah blah. But Mill Creek won, and it's always been high ranking in that group anyway.
It is a phenomenal beer. And honestly, this will be a little, I don't know how this will look on my part, as a representative of Mill Creek, but I had never tried it before. And I started working for them, and I was at a tasting. It was early October-ish. And so all year, I look forward to fest season. And I had never even had Mill Creek. I've been selling it for 2 months at this point. And I'm at this tasting, and I'm like, maybe I should taste this. And that particular year, this was 2 years ago, I was struggling to find one that I liked. I felt like some of them had gotten a little syrupy. Maybe the flavor wasn't coming through enough. And I'm standing at this tasting, and I have just a little, thimble cup. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I've been sleeping on my own beer. What are you talking about?
Wow.
But it is by far one of the best Oktoberfest beers I've ever had.
It is really good. And when I see it in the grocery stores come fall, it's like,
Yeah.
run out and get it, or come to Mill Creek.
Come to Mill Creek and get it.
Yes.
Excuse me. You had mentioned that Oktoberfest and some of the folks that are kind of look at you like, is it that time already? But we love having the conversation of when is the perfect time to start putting out that Oktoberfest beer at a brewery and distributing it as well?
Yeah, that's a great question. Everybody's trying to be Sam Adams. Sam Adams is like the Starbucks of
Yep.
Well,
pumpkin and
Right.
Oktoberfest.
You're fighting for shelf space at
Yeah.
that time.
Not to interrupt. I'll let you continue that thought in a second. I'm one of those that on the very first day that Sam Adams Oktoberfest comes out, I'm that guy that's standing at the grocery store, and I don't care what
Yeah.
time of the year it'll be because I just
Mhm.
love Oktoberfest. So anyway, continue on with your point there.
Yeah, I have some thoughts on that too.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a business from the distribution
We'd
standpoint.
love to hear it all.
So the first year that I was here, it was my first year. And I came in the middle of August, and so we were, in my opinion now, at that point I didn't know any better, but in my opinion now we were a little late to the game getting it out because they had like a little lapse in maybe some sales representation out in the market, and so we get it out there and we sold a ton though. I mean, in the short amount of time. The one thing that I will say about that is that there were bars and restaurants that were still appreciative that we had some in October, because a lot of them don't make it to October. And I told you last time we were out of pumpkin in September. So that was kind of a cool thing to see there. Last year we were out the first week of August, and it was ground running. And it was one of the craziest things I've ever seen, where people were buying up 9 sixtils at a time for their menu placement, 4 half barrels at a time for some of those places that were going to run it through the whole season. And I was like, August, from my standpoint, August.
Yeah.
And this year, because I just mentioned, we're going to be in Germany for 12 days, the latter part of September. So when I go out and talk about it now, I'm like, I really need you to be thinking about that, because I'm not going to be in here. I'm not going to be here in September to sell it.
Yeah.
I have argued that I think we're within like 5 years at a lot of places seeing Oktoberfest on the tap menu, almost all year long.
I agree.
I don't know if that's too much or not. It kind of reminds me, here's a pet peeve of mine, not necessarily about Oktoberfest, but every year, like July 4th happens, and then July 5th, you go into a store and they're already selling stuff for Christmas.
Yeah.
And you're like, can we get through
Yeah.
summer?
Yeah.
We're always in a hurry to make it into the next thing.
Yeah.
And as much as I would love to drink Oktoberfest throughout the year, it's also one of those things where it's special. We look forward to it.
Mhm.
We're guys that, as you talked about earlier, we want to get together and we want to try different variations of people's Oktoberfest. And that's the fun part of being a beer drinker too. So I don't know, man. I hope it doesn't get watered down, not the beer, but just the essence of the Oktoberfest season.
It's always something to look forward to, right? It's like just like Oktoberfest season in general, whenever that is,
But from a marketing standpoint, though, you're
Yeah.
driven by demand. That's just the way it is.
Yes. Yeah. So from the marketing standpoint, yes, but even from my, being a personal beer consumer, and as, even from the buyer's standpoint, right? So when I was at the picnic tap, I was like, I am not putting Oktoberfest on in August. Why would I do that? Come on. What's happening?
That's silly.
Pumpkin beer right now? And then 2 years ago, we took a trip up to Delaware. Love coastal Delaware. And you can probably guess why we were going, because we went to Dogfish Head. And it was in August, and they were releasing their pumpkin beer. And I'm standing there and I'm like, why would I deprive myself of this delicious pumpkin beer? It's August. I typically had a personal thing where I would not drink any Oktoberfest or pumpkin until September, but it was standing there in Dogfish Head where I completely let that all go. We proceeded to have a lot of pumpkin beer at Dogfish Head, and after that, I'm like, now I'm on the train.
Yeah.
I will not deprive myself of Oktoberfest and pumpkin. It's only here for a certain season, so August 1, I'm ready. Pumpkin beer, let's go.
Yeah, even if you say if you say, hey, I'm going to wait a couple of weeks before I even go buy it, you might not get it. Like you
That's
said,
true.
you might run out.
It's
Somebody's
true.
going to run out. I know what I was going to say earlier. If somebody asked, well, why don't you just make more?
Mm.
Hey, you're going to run out. Why don't you just make twice as much? How come we don't do that?
How come we don't do that? Because then there's the opposite effect, where
That's
then
right.
you are selling Oktoberfest all year long and it's losing its novelty, that kind
Right.
of stuff. I am one that would drink an Oktoberfest all year, though. But again, I'm personally about the nostalgia, kind of like we just talked about of that time of year. We don't want to over make it all because then we get stuck with it.
Yep, that's it.
And we don't want to do that.
Literally, and Bruce have talked about this about other seasonal beers too. It's like literally the next day when it's over, you're kind of stuck with it. People aren't drinking it anymore for the most part.
And that's crazy. When it's over, it's over. Like there is no selling it.
Yeah.
November 1, you can still sell some pumpkin. Sell some pumpkin up to Thanksgiving. But October or November 1, you're done. Like somebody sees an Oktoberfest on the menu and they're like, well, that must not be any good.
You're right. It's got to be old. It's
still there.
I would love to pivot to a different beer style that you all have on your menu right now, and it is popular this time of the year. It is the Mexican lager.
Okay.
We again, Scott and I, we'll go out and like, you see that Mexican lager? Got to get it, and we'll get it. We'll get it here today. And don't have it yet, but plan to. Why do you think Mexican lagers have become such a big deal in the brewery scene?
I think it's something that's relatable. It's it's funny when I love brewing and I could talk science and all the nerdy beer geek talk with just about anyone, but from a consumer standpoint, that's not like what they're looking for, right? So even at the tap room, even in sales, I talk a lot about things that people can relate to. Everybody knows what Corona is. Everybody knows what Modelo is. Everybody knows what Pacifico is.
Yeah.
And when you can get that in craft form, I think that's what people are looking for. It's light, it's crisp, it's refreshing. Drop a lime in there and you found your beach, right? Yeah. And so it's just a way for the craft industry to kind of take a little piece of that.
We have definitely come across a lot of Mexican lagers in the past couple of years, and it's just one of those. It's like, damn, they're good.
They are good.
It is. Again, we mentioned it today. Nashville, we're having, probably the second or third day of 90-degree weather and almost Memorial Day weekend. And
so here we go.
If I'm sitting outside on the porch or cutting grass or doing anything like that, what is one of the more perfect ones? We're also going to be talking about some of your other ones, but a Mexican style lager is one of the perfect beers if you're just sitting outside with friends in this kind of weather. It's perfect.
Light, easy, crushable. And I mean, we have Del Rey. That's our Mexican lager. And to me, Del Rey kind of gets passed over a little bit. I'd love to sell some more of it into the market, especially with the heyday that Mexican lagers is having. And we recently kind of just did a little rejuvenation on it. It's not quite as sweet as it used to be. So definitely, if nobody's tried a Del Rey recently, try it. It's a little bit different, a little more crisp. I say crisp, but I also am going to say soft at the same time. Mm-hmm. Just a little bit of like natural carbonation happening with it as well.
And I know you're going to ask about other beers, but while you still have some in your glass here, let's talk about this beer you've got right here. And if anybody knows of Mill Creek beer, they've heard of this beer and they've probably had this beer. And it's Little Darling. However, tell us something. This looks a little different. I wouldn't have known that was Little Darling unless you told me.
Yeah. So again, I'm gonna kind of revert back to my buying days a little bit and Little Darling. And so when I kind of started with Mill Creek, I was like, guys, sometimes like I want that just big, juicy, refreshing, like flavor and look out of the beer. And sometimes it's not always there. So what are we gonna do with this beer? This was the bread and butter, right? Little Darling kind of started it all. Was the big like rocket ship for Mill Creek. And when I'm out there talking about it, people are like, oh, yeah, Little Darling, that's one of my favorite beers. But I'll immediately say, well, why aren't you drinking it anymore? And they'll be like, oh, well, I kind of forgot about it, or this is missing a little bit of orange flavor, right? Like it just kind of it just wasn't there for me anymore. And I'm like, okay. And so, I talked to 40 accounts plus a week and brought this information, this wealth of knowledge back into the brewery. And I cannot say enough. I mean, Aaron, our brewer, is absolutely phenomenal. Again, we'll get into that a little bit more when we talk about the newer beers. But this was kind of one of the things that I was very much like, we've got to do something. We've got to get this unfiltered look back and all that flavoring. And so Aaron and KP and Mark here, they really took that to heart. And we've tried various things. And this is what the people wanted. This is what the people were asking for, was this, again, unfiltered orange kind of bomb. And that's what they got.
Can you show that camera? Just kind of
Yeah.
show it's like totally a different color than I remember.
Yeah, it's not clear.
Yep.
It's not clear.
And you guys do variations of that beer too. I know you've done a mango. I know you've done a peach. I mean, the possibilities got to be endless for that. I don't know how many of you guys have actually done with Little Darling, but
Well, and of course, I'm looking at your website right now. So it's Little Darling, Peachy, and Mango, which is what you have on tap here today. So are there other? I think you kind of asked that, other variations as well, or maybe others that are going to be coming out as an extension.
Those are the only 3 variations right now. I would love to see some more, you know. Jackalopes got some Lovebird with the strawberry raspberry going
Wow.
on,
Good,
and
yep.
you know, I'd love to see a raspberry darling. Like that sounds
Yes,
delicious.
yeah.
But as of right now, those are the only 3. Little Darling is having a little bit of a heyday right now with the kind of the growth of the new beers, and people kind of like that's helping jog their memory, and they're like, oh yeah, Little Darling. So they're picking that up now too. And now with this like awesome unfiltered look and flavor that it has, it's really kind of sticking with people. Peachy Darling is one we only do kind of like a small run of that, like out into the world, but taproom. And then Mango Darling, that is the only place right here in the taproom is the only place you can get that Mango Darling.
Okay.
Or there's one other secret. So we do a Little Darling variety pack. It's a 15 pack, and it has the Mango Darling in it. Very few places have it, maybe like Midtown Cork Dorks, R&B right up the street. But that is the only place outside of this tap room that you can get the Mango Darling is in that variety pack.
Where is that balance for you as far as where you want to distribute some of these beers? Because your reach, can you talk a little bit about your reach as far as like where you can get the Mill Creek brand in this particular area, other areas as well?
Yeah, so our reach changed a little bit when Bounty and Ajax merged. So we lost a couple of counties when that happened. So we're no longer in Sumner County. But I mean, there's still 6 counties in and around Nashville, all the way out to Columbia, Lebanon, all the way down into Murfreesboro, Eagleville Grocery. I mean, all as far south as that, as far north as maybe Dixon. We don't go super far north. That ended up being kind of in a different county. But I mean, it's a pretty widespread reach here in Middle Tennessee.
But how cool is it though when I don't know if you're here when you hear this, but I'm sure the folks that work here where they say, "Hey, I was at this package store and I had to get here and try it on tap." That has to be
Yeah.
pretty satisfying, and I'm sure you all probably hear that at times.
We definitely hear that. Or, I mean, people do travel with our beer too.
Yeah.
I know we used to distribute out in Knoxville. My cousin out there and her husband have been really big in the beer community out there working with a couple casual pints and stuff. And I frequently hear, hey, you know, will you bring me some Mill Creek? Like, can we get some Mill Creek, and I'll give them some samples when I go home for Christmas and things like that. So the reach is really great. And even yesterday I was at a festival and I was talking to a guy from Aaron, Tennessee, and he was like, he's like, I'd love to have this Hellas lager out there. So I was like, here's a sample. I can't quite come and see you. That's a little far for my it's a little far for my driving distance, but let your Ajax rep know.
there you go. Yeah, create demand.
Yes, exactly. But he was like, yeah, this is fantastic.
Yeah, and the Hellas is actually one that, as I'm looking again, you all have on tap right now.
The hell, as a matter of fact, when we ran into you at Cabin Fever Beer Fest in February, which
Yeah.
was a beautiful day. I still think back on that. Like it was
Literally a
70
beautiful day.
in
Yeah,
February,
70
which
degrees.
was awesome. And you had introduced us at that time to the Hellas. You guys had the Hellas there, and you had the West Coast Diesel there at the same time.
Yeah.
Brand new beers for you at that time, right? And I mean, it's still new for you now, but awesome beers.
That festival was literally the first day that either of those beers had ever come out of the tap room.
Okay.
That was day
Wow.
one.
Okay.
So
We got them day one then, because I
yes.
got both of them.
That was a little bit of experiment, I think, on my part. I signed us up last minute for the Cabin Fever Beer Festival, and it was, front and center in my mind to really feature those beers. And let's get some feedback before they do, fully launch into distribution. And so that was kind of the goal of that festival. And people seem to love them.
They were good. Now, had you guys done a West Coast IPA before?
We have Neon Days.
Neon. Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
we have
Yep,
Neon
okay,
Days.
yep.
That beer is always in the tap room here. And then as far as being out and about in the public, we do a lot of 16-ounce cans of that. It's at the Sound Stadium,
Okay.
things like so. It's mostly in venues.
Okay.
Well,
makes
yeah, and we'll try to replicate the conversation we had before we turned on the old mic and camera here. But I had said I had West Coast Diesel just 2 nights ago. I was at Mr. Brews in Smyrna, and I didn't have it at the Mill Creek Festival, or I'm sorry, at the Cabin Fever Festival. Bad me, I should have.
Yeah.
But when I had it on 2 nights ago on a flight, what did I tell you?
That you wish you had had more.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's what everybody is
Yeah.
saying right now is that they wish they had more because it went quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, you've talked about many times certain beers are good on a flight. Like you only want 4 or 5 ounces. That's one you want 16 ounces
Oh
of.
my gosh. Yeah, absolutely. And you had talked about, what American IPA and stuff like that, the pininess of it. And I said, well, I didn't get that as much as I got more of the hops, but also just the overall taste of it that I thought was really, really good from that particular style brand of beer.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of touched on it a little bit before of, like listening, like what are the consumers looking for? We talked about it again with Little Darlin', this unfiltered, juicy bomb that it is now. And again, 40 times a week, I'm asking the question, what are you looking for? And a big one this time was West Coast IPAs. And I thought to myself, even from taproom experience, the Westies making a comeback. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I love a good hazy IPA, but man, there is nothing like a good piney, just resinous West Coast.
Yep.
And we had done a small run of diesel here in the tap room around Christmas time and huge response to it. And I was like, okay, guys, am I going to get any to take out into the market? And we're only brewing at 10 barrels at a time. So very, very small. But that's also the objective. I mean, we're here to keep it small. It's kind of a little project that we're working on. Me in the sales and marketing world, I'm hoping that it's going to become the next if you know drop out there. We'll see if that happens. But yeah, we had just a small amount of it. We put it out into the world. So if you find it, it's kind of a bit of a rarity out there. So definitely grab it.
You need a West Coast Diesel Day.
A Diesel Day. That
Diesel
was
Day.
Diesel Day.
Yeah.
Let's
be
do
awesome.
it.
Be lined up out the door out here.
I'm here for it. But one of the things in that is keeping it small batch. We want to definitely be in control of that flavor. So again, we're only going to brew it 10 barrels at a time. The next one it's actually in the tank back there right now, and we're looking for second week, maybe even first week of June when we'll get some more of it. But I already have tap rooms already asking me, when's it coming back? When's it coming back? People I know out, in certain tap rooms, people were bringing growlers to fill them up.
Awesome.
And, just to make sure they could get it.
Yeah.
And so that was that again, talk about reach. Like
Yeah.
this was in Columbia, Tennessee, right? Like that was a great, story to hear.
For perspective on that, Columbia, but almost an hour away from here.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great to hear in this day and age, just with beer. Like there's a demand for something, and there are people excited about it. Can't get it, can't wait for the next time it comes out. We're standing in line for it, pre-ordering or whatever. It's great to hear just in the way beer is right now.
The concept of it kind of like came to me with you guys may remember, but when Brewery was first starting out, right? Like I remember Joel would post like random drop here. It'd be like at filling station, and people would be like running. How do I get that Brewery beer? And I just thought that was like one of the coolest things ever, where it was kind of like, and if a search and find. And again, my cousins my cousin in Knoxville would be like, Ashley, I saw this on Instagram. Can you go get this for me? I'm like, it's 6 bottles, Katie. Like, I'm not that special.
They're like you're gonna get it like everybody else does.
Exactly. And so that just like little bit of like marketing technique that they did when they were first starting out, I just kind of thought that was genius. And that's a little bit of the perspective that I took with our diesel. I think it's just, again, it is so good. It is so smooth, piney resinous on the nose, smooth to the taste. I mean, I even have IPA people who don't drink IPAs who are like, this is phenomenal. Even Marty, you're talking about getting it at Mr. Brews.
Yep.
Marty was like, I'm not a big IPA guy, but holy cow, this is
In
good.
fact, he was talking the other night. I mean, I talked to Marty because we had them on a podcast recently. And I talked to Marty and I said, man, I got it. I got the diesel. And he was mentioning you in very flattering terms. The other IPA brand that you have, and I was making sure before we came here, and we try to do that market research for our podcast, make sure we have everything. And
It's called drinking the beer.
Yeah. The beer.
It's really.
See, look, you guys are living my dream. I told you. Market research, I got this.
I know, I got it. So, we're sitting there the other day and I go into the grocery store and I'm like, I'm sitting where I go, Kroger, Publix, wherever, in my area, I can usually see something Mill Creek, right? And we talked about the Mexican lagers being a big deal this time of the year. The other brand that you have on Mix Pack that I think it's fantastic, and where I'm going with this, is the Mix Pack of Easy Days, Neon Days, and the Juicy Days IPAs.
Yes.
Do you have some of the, you got some show and tell cans over there? Do you have some of those here just so we can see some bling in the packaging on them?
I will say one thing about the mix pack. The mix packs, we do have the Days Craze series.
Yeah.
That is one of the only ways to get Easy Days.
Yeah.
We talk about low ABV beers being a thing right now. That is a delicious IPA at 4.5% right there. And it is 4.5%. It is packed full of hops. So if you see that Days Craze pack out there, that's, one of the best ways that you can get the Easy Days. And then I'll take a moment for Juicy Days because it is another one of those beers like we talked about here with Darlin, where our brewer kind of put a little bit of love and effort into that beer. It is, also now a little bit softer than it used to be. I just actually created a poster to put it up in a restaurant for Juicy Days, and it says soft, crushable on the poster. And I was in the establishment and they were like, what does that mean? And I was like, well, let's just try it. And they tasted it and they're like, and it helps bring through some of that. Ours is a little bit more tangerine, I guess, rather than orange flavored, which is a little bit different than some of the hazies that you'll see kind of in the market. It's now a little bit softer than it used to be, and just something that Aaron was kind of working on, bringing in a little more true to style, like hazy brewing method to get that out of it. So
I feel like I remember when that whole haze series came out, and it was almost like when KP bought into the place, when it just seems like it was kind of right after that whole series kind of came out. It seemed like it was a game changer for you guys. Like, it's bright labels, on the shelves, and it's like, oh my God, this whole series is great.
Yeah, the bright labels on those, are absolutely phenomenal. But I'm going to use that as a way to check out some of these labels that we've got.
Please, yes.
So again, we've recently rebranded. I'll take one down, pass it around.
That's the one I was just drinking, as a matter of fact.
Yeah,
right
the
here.
Czech Pilsner.
Yes.
Look at that can art.
It's just simple. It's
very
classic.
cool.
It's easy. And that's what I liked about it. It's eclectic. When I saw it for the first time, I came into the brewery and I was like, what is that? That looks amazing.
Yeah.
And, just kind of talking about it from that perspective, it looks like there's a classy beer in this can.
100%.
And there is a classy beer in this can.
Yep.
I love it.
That's what I really like about it. But that was our current seasonal. It's going to be moving out in about 2 weeks.
Yep.
For the next one. The German Pilsner, again, with a little bit of the German style flag going on there. The German Pilsner will be our next seasonal. And then, again, we mentioned the Dunkel lager beer.
See, those are cool as hell. I really love that packaging.
That packaging is so good. It's easy.
And it really does. You're right. It does kind of tell you what that beer is based on the style of the font and stuff. It is very German-like with the font. I love it. It's great.
Yeah, clean and eclectic. The next seasonal that we're coming out with too, that'll launch with the German Pilsner, is actually an ESB.
Nice.
So bringing it back.
Love those.
I love a
them.
good ESB.
Me too.
I feel like it's kind of been a thing of the past. So, and in talking to Aaron, it's his favorite style of beer too. So when he got the chance to make it and it's actually going to go out into distribution, that's really exciting for him and for us as well.
I love that. People get not turned off, but they get scared of ESBs when they see what it's just what the name stands for, extra special bitters. And people like, bitter? Like, no, it's not that at all. No, they're fantastic beers.
It's just a light, smooth, malty, biscuity beer. And I love it. It's
typically lower
another
ABVs.
Yeah, lower
high
ABV.
Yep.
So yeah, like I said, I think the Dunkel lager here is going to probably remain taproom only. These three are going to be into distribution, but we even kind of took some fun take. I brought a couple of our fun ones that are also taproom exclusive. I mean, we had to jump on the peanut butter and jelly bandwagon,
Right.
right? So that's a nice little picnic peanut butter and jelly sandwich going on there. And then another taproom exclusive that a lot of people don't know about is that we have a 10% milk and cookies stout.
Yep.
Robert just
So-
had that. I think.
Yeah.
It's pretty solid. I
Yeah.
drink that a lot at Christmas time. It might be too warm now, but at Christmas time, that was fantastic. But so yeah, new packaging,
I
new
love that.
beers.
Looks
It's an
good.
exciting time at Mill Creek.
Yeah, it looks good. Like you like.
Fresh takes on some of the old stuff as well. You know, some of the foundation, fresh takes on the foundation as well.
Well, it kind of goes into what we talked about in the beginning of finding the brewery experience for people that are going to come in. You know, you want people to leave and go, man, I got the Hellas. I got the Bohemian. Oh, wait, I got this cookies and cream.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody is talking about something different and they're talking to their friends. And then next thing you know, people are coming in. Next thing you know, we're doing a podcast here.
Right.
Kevin that runs the kitchen has been helping me do some tastings out there, and we did one at Sinkers on Friday, and we were just kind of talking about the busyness of the tap room, and he's like, it's so busy. And I'm
Yeah.
like, that is great news. I mean, even at the Cabin Fever Beer Festival, I was like, let's feature some things that people don't normally get. Let's drive them back to the tap room. Brew at the Zoo is coming up.
Yep.
We're gonna have the peanut butter and jelly. This is technically a sour beer. It's a Berliner Weiss. So it's not gluten-free like the other one.
Right.
That's my biggest concern when I send that out there. I'm like, it's not gluten-free.
But again, that's really perfect for an event like that.
Yes. So yeah, just featuring that beer at Brew at the Zoo, and I'm sure we'll have the Hellas and Darlin as well.
Yeah. It's cool that you did a different spin on the PB&J, just in a different style. I think it's a nice little, it's still PB&J, but it's got a different twist to it because it's a different style.
It is a different style. It's a little bit heavier, to be honest. I mean, it's not going to be as thin as the mixtape, and again, not gluten free, but I think it still holds. I mean, it's very peanut butter on the nose, which is kind of crazy, and then it's very Concord grape. You really get that Concord grape out of it.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
I was at Deep South Growlers yesterday, and they didn't talk about it. Well, they did a little bit, but I'd seen a post they had created a day or two ago. There's an event coming up that they're going to have, and you guys are involved in it. So I'll let you kind of spill the beans on it and tell us kind of how it came to be, because it sounds pretty friggin' cool.
Yeah, so again, we keep coming back to Cabin Fever. Apparently, that was like a pivotal moment in Mill Creek history, especially this year. Yeah, at Cabin Fever Beer Festival, I sat down with Josh from Yazoo Brewing Company and Cameron from New Heights Brewing Company, probably two of my best friends in the world. Again, I was a buyer for 10 years. I know all these guys, all of them are really good friends of mine typically, but the three of us were sitting there talking, having a beer. We've packed up. We're hot. It was warm that day in February, and we were like, what is something that we can do as a beer community? I feel like for me personally, in my taproom experience, that was one thing that I always wanted to drive was beers community. Like, a lot of great things happen. Businesses are created over a pint of beer. Some of the best conversations in the world happen over a pint of beer. And a lot of that is also created through collaboration and growth of just the industry as a whole. And so the three of us put together what we're calling Battle of the Beers. We have a pretty solid logo. We have a pretty solid little poster that we put together for places. And it's just a fun night where a restaurant or bar, tap room can feature beer from each of the three breweries. The three of us show up, hand selling beer, talking to people about beer, handing out swag. And then at the end of the day, you get to vote for which one is your favorite. And this will be our second one coming up at Deep South Growlers. It's on May 27th.
Okay. Yeah.
We did our first one at Old Hickory Pizza and Pub last month, and it was, butts and seats for beer for 4 hours straight, which, is exciting to see.
Yes.
Is people coming out wanting to try beers, craft beers.
Beer community unite.
Yeah.
Yes, so beer community unite. Our objective right now is, one a month at wherever will have us. But our first one was fun. Really looking forward to this one at Deep South Growlers on the 27th. and I hope it grows from there. And this one in particular is going to be called Battle of the Loggers. So we'll each put up a lager that people will get to vote for. But the possibilities are endless, Battle of the
Yeah.
Beers just in general. Battle of the Saisons, who wants to see that?
I know.
mean,
Yeah.
Battle of the
Exactly.
Westies, right?
Yes. I mean, like you said, it's
really be
unlimited.
anything.
You could go forever with this thing and just change it up. It's awesome.
It
Yeah.
could really be anything.
I pulled up the Deep South Growler post, and it's got that poster on there, and it's really cool. It's got all three of your logos on there, really colorful, and it's going to be awesome. I'm pretty sure I'll be there for that.
I was going to say, you live
I live right behind it, literally.
You don't have a choice.
I'm going to have to get over there too.
I will.
absolutely.
They'll be like, where the hell is he at?
Yeah,
Why is he not
really.
here? No, that's exciting, and I don't know that I've ever been a part of anything like that, so that'll be kind of neat to see that.
Yeah, we took like a Battle of the Bands kind of theme on it. So there is no music, unfortunately. I mean, unless Josh gets up there and wants to sing. We took like a little Battle of the Bands theme on it. And yeah, people will get to vote for the best one. Funny story, we had this like handmade trophy that I made from Hobby Lobby the day of the event that we had the last time. And actually, the Mill Creek Hellas Lager won the first ever Battle of the Lager. And I broke the trophy in the first 5 seconds that I had it. So
Can't have anything nice, can you?
This is why we can't have nice things. We're currently working on getting a plastic trophy made, so it cannot be broken because the other one was glass.
Is that something you'll trade between each other as they win, as you win, or whatever? Okay.
It was funny. We KP and I went out into the market. We went into the airport to do some kind of just hand out some t-shirts and support those accounts. And KP, as we're walking out of the airport, KP's like, you should bring that trophy to the tap room so we can put it up. And I was like, I can't. That's all I said.
That's funny.
That's all I said.
You're like, I hope they don't ask about it.
Yeah, exactly. He goes, well, why not?
Yeah.
I said, well, because it's in 1,000 pieces of glass on the Old Hickory Pizza floor.
Oh my God.
Hey, before we get out of here with you, is there anything else that you wanted to mention today that we haven't, or anything else that Scott needs to add? We have story time with Scott coming up on a trip that he took recently. We want you to stick around for because you like going to beer cities. But anything else that we want to conclude here with Ashley on Mill Creek?
I do want to say, I was going to ask, a question about community, but you just literally told us about you and, Yazoo and New Heights getting together. I think that's awesome. I think Nashville, we've talked about this many times. Nashville is one of those beer cities that seems to happen a lot. Like breweries kind of helping breweries, whether it's, borrowing some hops or some grains or, somebody told us that their keg washer was broken and they borrowed a part from someone and had to run it back, the next day, like stuff like that. So that's another example right there of just getting together. Hey, we're selling beer against each other, but we're not enemies.
No, I mean, again, if Cameron's Gold Skull Mexican lager is doing well, chances are Delray is going to do well too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Working together is one of the biggest things that I've really enjoyed from this job, and getting to work alongside my friends now has been fantastic.
I love the show Bar Rescue, and there's a place in Nolensville recently that was on Bar Rescue, and it wasn't you guys. You guys are fine. It wasn't you guys. However, there's a segment in Bar Rescue where they always take the owners and they take them off site and they kind of have an interview and get to know them. They did that and they came here in Mill Creek. I saw it and I was, it's just a little thing. I was watching it and I go, they're just kind of one-on-one and with John Tafford and I go, they're in Mill Creek. Literally, the background was bad. I was like, all right, Mill Creek.
John Tafford in Mill Creek.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Yeah, it was kind of a neat thing I saw watching the episode. So, one other thing I want to ask is, do you guys self-distribute?
We are Ajax is our distributor partner.
You did mention Ajax. Okay, that's right.
And, they have been fantastic. To work with.
So the trucks that I see, the Mill Creek trucks, they're probably just labeled for Mill Creek, but Ajax.
Yeah, I think there's, when you sign up with a distributor, I think there's a certain amount of advertising that comes along with that, and that's where those trucks are coming from.
It's great. I mean, I see them over. I saw one at Main Street Liquors on Thursday over there in East Nashville.
Yeah, I think there's one big one.
Okay.
And then there's a little van as well that I know of that I've seen kind of out and about.
Maybe that's what it was, like the van or something. Yeah.
Yeah. I have one more thing that
Absolutely.
I kind of want to touch on a little bit.
Please take all the time.
Coming kind of back to the Hellas Lager, it's gonna be a new core beer for us. I think it's one of Aaron's favorite things that he's ever brewed. He's very, very passionate about it. So I want to give it its moment here.
Absolutely.
When he was kind of revamping these recipes and really getting back to like some true to style brewing methods for whatever style of beer, this beer came up. And in that, he had a little bit of a mentor. His name is Fred Fred Scheer, but he is a German brewmaster. He's a malt specialist. He's done a lot with packaging and things like that, but he helped make this beer and he brewed it with us the first couple of times. And so, I mean, it's about as German as you can get without crossing the pond. It's clean, it's crisp, it's refreshing. I'm really excited to have it now and in my portfolio to have it on tap here. But it's light, it's crushable, it's clean, it's a little bit sweet, got that nice malt to it. So yeah, just kind of want to give the Hellas its shout out and time of day.
Absolutely.
I'm glad you did. And we love lagers. We've talked
Yes.
about lagers here. We showed a bunch of them. I mean, your menu's got several lagers on it. I mean, love to see that. And probably not something I would have recognized from Mill Creek years ago, but now it's like, man, this is awesome to see.
Yeah.
That's been a big push. Like, again, a lot of the new beers are lagers. And it's really funny when I saw this can, it says like traditionally crafted, patiently lagered on it.
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't even know how there was no patience from me. We did a small run of this beer during Oktoberfest last year and it was so good.
Yeah.
I was like, Aaron, I had to market. Let's go.
Right.
And we had a little bit of a thing where we had to close down a little bit. We did a whole refresh, cleaning equipment, all that stuff at the beginning of the year. And it delayed me getting this by about 3 weeks. And so
Ooh.
every week I was like,
Is that always like the battle between brewers and salespeople? Kind of
Yes.
like, hey,
Yeah. Oh,
we want it
yeah.
out there. It's not ready yet. It's
Yes,
not ready.
yes. Even the diesel, I'm like, Aaron, come on. I'm
Absolutely.
like, people are asking, let's go. But so it says patiently lagered, and it was patiently lagered and handcrafted by Aaron and Fred. It was not patiently lagered by Ashley.
It was not patiently distributed by Ashley. Give me the
That's
damn
okay.
beer.
That's okay. You
Yes.
can still
So-
claim involvement by talking about it.
Yes. But it is out now, and it will be out for forever. As long as the consumers will have it, it'll be out.
There you go.
Good. And that'll be everywhere, grocery stores and whatnot.
Yeah,
All right.
grocery, all major liquor stores, bars.
One thing I'm going to do next time I go to the grocery store is literally hunt for that stuff on the shelf to see your labeling at the grocery store. You know, again, the day series I can pick up easily
Right,
because of the colorful
right.
stuff. This is going to be cool to see on shelves.
It does look really great on a shelf set.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Awesome. Anything else, Ashley, that we didn't
No.
cover that you'd like to talk about, or no?
Yeah, no, thanks, guys.
Well, thanks for joining us.
No.
It was a quick hour.
Yeah.
Holy
Thank
cow.
you.
Oh,
Thank
it's been
you.
an hour?
Maybe a little, maybe.
Okay, wow.
Well, if you don't mind, stick around for a second because you had mentioned about going to beer cities, and Scott just recently went to Asheville. He took a big beer trip there, and my question is, Scott, do you know? Can you impress us? How many breweries you went
Okay.
there?
I went to 20 breweries
Okay.
in 3.5 days, 18 different breweries. And when I say that, I went to Burial 3 times, 4 times, but I went to 2 locations. So the downtown location I went to 3 times on different days, 18 different 18 different breweries in 3.5 days, 9 of which were new for me, 9 breweries for me. Like, I always got to go to Burial. I've been before. Went to White Labs was awesome. I Tried was awesome. New places I hadn't been to. Whistle Hop, amazing. Oh, really?
on my
It's
list.
Yeah.
so good. They were so friendly
Yeah.
to us. They were friendly to us before we even got there. Just train cars, kind of make
I'm
up their
so
brewery.
excited.
It's so cool, and
Yeah.
the beer was really good too. And they had like they're very family friendly. They had like a miniature golf course out front and
Yeah.
all that stuff. An amazing trip. It's one I won't forget probably ever. And I'm kind of jealous of you going on, your journey out there because
Did you log how many beers you drank?
I had
on that
56 beers, 56 new beers while I was there. That's not counting the ones I may have had before. And most of them were not flights. A lot of times I go places and get flights and, you rack your numbers up. Most of these were pints. So we literally started somewhere every day at 11 and then we'd go till, they closed every single day. So we packed in quite a bit in 3.5 days. Asheville's great. Have you been?
Oh, I've been. I'm from East Tennessee.
Okay.
So, it's just a hop over the mountain. Love Asheville. Phenomenal beer city. I am very impressed by the amount of pints that you consume. We will go on our beer vacations and people will be like, did you guys do anything else? You must be wasted. And I'm like, no. Like we have mastered the art of the share a flight or the half pint.
Sure.
So that's kind of how we do it. But we'll go to 20 in a day.
Yeah.
And
Hey.
people will be like, how?
Last year, we took a trip up to Ohio, 7 days, I think it was, 7 or 8 days. We went from Cincinnati to Cleveland. We had hit Akron Hop and Frog. We'd hit Great Lakes. We came back and
Get back through to Columbia.
we hit a brewery that apparently I can I say it?
Yeah.
Okay. So when I say who farted, I've laughed about that one now. So we
It's
went
created
there.
a groundswell on this whole who
I've
farted
created a
thing.
groundswell, right? Who farted? Yeah, there's a couple people that love that. No, man, we did that, and it was kind of like you get up, you have some breakfast, you have a good base, start out about noon, just pace yourself throughout the day. Next day, you get up and you do it all over again.
And do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's my favorite vacation.
Yeah.
It's
I
fun.
once took a trip to Savannah, Georgia by myself.
Yeah.
And I, we have one here. We have that hop, not the brew hop, but the green hop on, hop off trolley.
Yeah. Like the Music City Brew Hop, that one?
No,
The different one.
Not
Okay.
the beer specific one, the tourist specific
I
one.
see. Yes, I've
So
seen that
that's
one
a
already.
nationwide, or at least Southeast company.
Okay.
And I went up and I got their map, and I was like, these are all the places that it goes to. And I'm like, this is like a $50 designated driver for the day. And I took that map and I was like, well, this brewery is right here off this stop, and this brewery is off this stop. So I just used the little tourist trolley as my designated
Why
driver
not?
for the day. Went to like 10 breweries that were off the stop, and it was fantastic.
And when you're with the person or the people and they're there for the same reason, you know what I mean? Hey, we went into this thing like, this is going to be a brewery trip.
Yeah.
It's literally, I don't care about eating. I don't care about fancy restaurants at the end of the day. So they got food along the way. Great. But it's going to be brewery after brewery after brewery. And everybody had the same mentality. And it was no issue. Like, okay, what are we doing today? Which breweries are we going to today? Yes, that's exactly it. Nashville's got good food and stuff too. We didn't care about any of that. We just like beer.
And that's the best. I mean, city, there's like 7 on one block, right?
Yeah, right there in downtown.
Start at the top there at Green Man and just work your
You
way
just
all the way around.
It's just so many. And you look up, and we didn't go to as many as we maybe thought we would, but that's, literally put something on paper, and then you're like, oh, we can do this. You get to a place, and we do it everywhere you go, and you stay longer than you thought you might have stayed because it's like, this place is better than I thought, or I need to get that beer next, or so you end up staying longer and not doing sometimes.
You
So it's,
connect with the bar staff, or
yeah.
I mean, we've been known to like get adopted by locals who will take us to like crazy places too. Like, hey, did you know about this place? And we're like, no, but wherever the local says we should go, that's where we should go.
We've had that before going out. Like I said, the beer community, we've got to the point that, especially up in like Cincinnati, and we've made friends up there, and they're like, when you're coming, let us know.
Oh yeah.
We want to come hang out and, share the beer experience, and even Nashville too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The beer experience is phenomenal. Even in this area too. I mean, I've gone to Sierra Nevada before out in Asheville, and, my brewery reps here have gotten us beer tours, and, like brewery reps even here have put in like words at various places, and that's just been so cool that to see that stretch. And then you get a little bit of special treatment. You get some of the things that just going in as a tourist you wouldn't get some inside scoops. So that's always been fun as well.
Yeah, we had that at White Labs. They've got a kitchen and they got a brewery in there, and then of course it's the yeast company, and we got a private tour from Pablo, who we had him on the other day. Because he kind of knew we were coming and said, hey, I'll take you around and show you the place and in the back. So that stuff is cool. Like you said, it's like,
the beer community is great.
Yeah.
It is.
All the time.
Yeah. I do want to give a shout out to the people that came with me on the trip. I'd be remiss if I didn't. So, and a lot of these people.
Yes.
So I've got Keith from Porch Beers USA. He was there.
The mayor. Yeah.
Yes, Keith, the mayor. He's out of Delaware, by the way. He lives in Delaware. Yep. Nick and Ashley Road Truck.
The first couple of the beer community, they FaceTimed me when they were there.
That's right.
In fact, Ashley loves my Who Farted. She says like 10 out of 10, that's my humor.
Yep.
She loves it. I'm like, hey, I just try. I just try to be funny,
Yep. Brew Dude and Brewdette, West Virginia. Yep. And then, of course, Nick's got the Hop In We're Drinking podcast with Joe. Of that. And then we also met up with a guy out of Knoxville, beer community, that we but we communicate with like through Instagram and stuff. 2112 Craft.
Yes.
Scott Henshaw. So we've communicated with him many times. We actually got to meet him. He went to Knoxville and met us out there for a couple days. And then, another couple that we met through Instagram just communicated. They heard we were going to Asheville, and they live in North Carolina, about an hour and a half outside of Asheville. And they said, we want to join you too. So we got to meet up with some other people. Cody's Beer Adventures, Cody and Tabitha. So they met up with us too. So it turned out to be this big thing. We're all just kind of got together and hung out, and it was a great 3.5 days. It's, again, when you're with the right people and everybody's doing the same thing, it's like we're not, you're not splintering off and doing different. We all, we're going here next.
We're going here next. Yeah, we did that in Milwaukee last summer with some friends. I've been to Milwaukee 100 times, but I was like, hey, I'm telling you right now, we're hitting these breweries. This is where we're going.
Yep.
And they were like, all right, we're just along for
That's it.
I have 2 questions for Ashley. First
okay.
off, have you enjoyed this podcast?
This has been fantastic. Thank you guys.
And will you come on with us again sometime?
Of course.
Awesome.
I can talk beer anytime. Let me
Yes,
know.
yes. No, this has been great. Yes, thank you very much. It's been fantastic.
So,
I'm out of here, but let's raise our glasses to
Oh.
Mill
All right.
Creek.
yes.
I've been nursing this last little bit because I was
Yeah.
about to be out.
Ashley Gibson,
Yes.
regional sales manager from Mill Creek Brewing. Thank you today from Mill Creek for joining us on the Brewery Underground podcast.
Yes. Cheers.
Cheers, guys.